Many people have this romantic, idealistic fairy tale of Will Smith in the movie I Am Legend, where he's living completely alone in the world and there's no human beings around. You know, the peace and tranquility compared to the pressure today, how people treat each other like shit. Why wouldn't you want to isolate yourself in that little perfect silent bubble where you're not stressed anymore? But the question is, can you really function without any human interaction at all? Can you completely isolate yourself, and is it healthy? Let me share a little story. We've been locked down here in Melbourne, Victoria for the last 6 months. And in the first couple of weeks, it wasn't such a big deal. My life's fairly solitary anyway, so it's nothing really out of the ordinary. I keep joking that most people now are forced to live my life. But I noticed even after the first couple of weeks, it started to feel a bit flat. I didn't know why, because I had no problems. I was enjoying myself, I was sleeping well, but I noticed my candle flickering a little bit lower. My energy, my will, my motivation was kind of flat. Every day melded into the next. And I remember just going to the cemetery to visit Dad one of these days alone, and I happened to bump into a relative there, and that little interaction for about 15 minutes, in some way I really can't put into words, rejuvenated me. And I went home, I wrote, I filmed another video, I put it together, I uploaded it. I did a couple of other things before the day was over. And I was really, really productive, and I was energized for the next week or two. And just the ability of human face-to-face, real meet space interaction rather than digital virtual interaction, the difference of what it did to me in terms of will and motivation to kind of get things done and feel good about those sort of things. And later that evening, I remember jumping on Discord and having a chat with a friend of mine, Karu, where he said, yeah, no wonder most guys, similarly, they can't get motivated without a girlfriend. And we were talking about the notion of, yeah, it's not just the girlfriend, it's the human interaction of someone in your life, a consistent aspect in your life that you can actually, in a tactile, in a haptic sense, relate to somebody. And it unconsciously fuels you, you don't know why. I think up until now, because it's unconsciously been there all the time, we took it for granted. And now a lot of people are having problems up here and they don't know why, they can't find the language. It's because we took it for granted that we had these social interactions. But what I came to realize is that suffering isn't eased by being alone. The majority of us, and I'm saying approaching almost all of us, we don't function well being completely alone without any other human interaction. I mean, this is the reason why we're talking like this. This is the reason why men get together to chat realistically, openly. We need that conversation. Having a conversation just with yourself is not really having a conversation. You're trying to work things out on your own, which is fine philosophically. But in that interactive sense with the world, to know what is true, the scientific test, the experiment of validating what your ideas are, needs some sort of conversation with another. You know, you need the real life back and forth. You need the tennis match. It can't be a theoretical, well, what would happen if I talk to someone and what would their reaction be? And that's enough for you. It's not enough. You need to test it. And that testing is a part of the reality that I found. But as I've said a few times, don't lock yourself away from the world and shrink into nothing. Create, share with others, find your tribe, find a friend or two. Create your own moral philosophy, improve your thinking, and find others who share your moral philosophy, you know. So I wanted to share that even though there's a lot of us that are more leaning towards introversion, and we function really well on our own in isolation, there's something that's lost also that may affect our will and our drive and our motivation and the quality of what comes out of the will and motivation. If it's not sort of bounced up against the world and other people, sure, avoid people that aren't you, avoid the bad things in life, but don't negate the good things or searching those things out, because a lot of that external testing and bouncing back and forth can inform the quality of your isolated world, the things you create, the things you write, the people you talk to, the things you choose to develop. Let me know if you guys have had experience with that, where You get what you want. Everyone leaves you alone. The world is yours, but over time, it's not so much that it gets boring, that it gets flat. And you need something to test against, to play tennis against. It does not satisfy just to play tennis with yourself. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. As always, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon also, and select all. That helps YouTube share my videos around. Share my videos around on your social media. That'll help me out too. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't. Comment. Donate if you feel like it. There are links below. Thank you to everyone who's donated thus far this month. I really appreciate it, guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.